It doesn't matter whether you are from Mozambique, Curaçao, Malta, Romania.
Okay, clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Another question? Okay, let's move a little bit towards taxes. You mentioned that the Romanian government, and we all know, they are in a great difficulty without the general budget, and they have to do something. On the other hand, I don't want to enter into politics, but the public servant services in Romania are one of the biggest regarding the population. They said they will also reduce this public servant expense, but finally we see that they will want, at least they in a draft, to put more and more taxes, and it's also on the gambling industry. Could you summarize which taxes they want to increase? Just to name the most important. Which will have the biggest impact on the businesses?
I would start by saying, as I began, that it's not just the actual taxes, but the setup will be changed, which would lead to more costs on the operators. In the first draft that the government has released behind closed doors, the B2C operators were obliged to set up Romanian vehicles under which to operate their licenses, which is a huge change to the current framework where operators established anywhere in Europe, primarily Malta, could apply and did apply for licenses and do operate licenses in Romania, pay taxes to the Romanian state, but they have their operations and their main central server located elsewhere, primarily, as I said, in Malta, but not only. So the change was that they needed to set up a Romanian vehicle and move their license to such vehicle and continue to operate under this Romanian company and, of course, pay corporate tax in Romania. That was one of the changes. The second change was even more dramatic, which was move their server, the gaming server, from Malta to Romania.
For the server which is, let's say, serving the Romanian customers.
Yes. In the last draft, changes have been inputted. Of course, the industry reacted and there were discussions and lobbying, and so currently the draft is saying that B2C operators need to operate under a Romanian vehicle, or if not, they have to fiscally declare their permanent establishment, if you are familiar with the concept, which is that even though you operate from a Maltese company, let's say, you are registering fiscally the part of your business which generates incomes in Romania, therefore should be taxed in Romania. So these are the only two alternatives that are possible. The location of the server requirement has been dropped, so at least there we are safe. I think that the government finally understood that this is not possible. This has been the subject of EU infringement back in 2013 when Romania had to change their legislation precisely because of that. So hopefully they will not go back to that again. On taxes, taxes are dramatically increased for the traditional land-based industry. I'm not going to detail that, but every single tax, whether we talk about the tax on slot, whether we talk about betting, doesn't matter what, has been increased even 10 times. The guarantees for good functioning have been increased from currently, I'll give you an example, but it's throughout the whole industry. For remote gambling, there was 100,000 per vertical. For casino, 100,000, for betting, 100,000. Now it's 5 million euros. In the first year, there is a leniency, so you can pay 1 million per vertical. So the only good thing on that is that in addition to the possibility to have a letter of bank guarantee for this amount, you can also provide an insurance policy. So this is something to...
Regarding the banks in Romania, I would like to mention that more and more banks are pushing out operators from their clients. So you get a short notice that you are not, have to close your accounts within 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. We at the Rombet Association, where I'm currently working, so we are a non-profit organization, non-governmental. We are not operating any businesses, and our 10 years old relation with the bank suddenly has to be closed because the bank considered us a high-risk entity, which is absolutely crazy. We went there, we discussed with them, and there is no way. But I think that this tendency goes throughout Europe. Even in Malta, I have recently discussed at different occasions with people who are having a business in Malta, and the banks in Malta, even there, they close the accounts of companies related to the gambling industry. And in Malta, you know, the gambling industry has 10, maybe 12% of the GDP. It's, and they are also, it's like crazy. It's also the draft which is saying that the responsible gambling fee should be increased.
Yes, where nowadays a B2C operator would pay 5,000 euros per year. When this draft will see the publishing day, it will be 500,000 euros per year. B2B operators are also hit, where...
The second-class license we talk about.
Yes, so the ones who provide services to operators, where currently they pay 9,000 euros per year, they will be paying 20,000 per year as license fee, plus an additional 15,000 euros as social contribution, as opposed to 1,000 euros currently. The beauty of this thing is that all this money were collected by the gambling regulator, and they should have done something with them, which they didn't. So nowadays, under this draft, the government, in need of so much money, provides that 70% of these money that are collected as social contributions will be income to the state budget, rather. So the gambling regulator would remain with only 30% out of it to do something, which would be enough. If they would do something.
Yeah, I think it's 6 years since they are collecting the old fee. They have now more than 8 million.
Collected, but they are collecting for the past as well. So it's 8 years in total.
Yes, and they have 8 million, roughly 8 million euros, and not spending a single cent for responsible gambling projects. And now they want more money. Now I understand why, because the government want to take a big chunk of that money to the state budget. And I think this proves the hypocrisy of the government, of the politicians. They say that care about the players, that they want to protect the players, but on
just want the money.
Yeah, exactly.
But this piece of legislation, they just want the money.
They want the money. Okay, questions from the audience.
how do the operators report their GGR to the gambling authorities, governmental authorities? Just Excel file from server, or the government has access to the server where they store their files, admin area?
There is a terminal connection between the central server and ONGN. So ONGN has access to everything in real time. But leaving that aside, as any taxes in any jurisdiction, I think, there is a declaration, a statement, a form, which the operators fill on a monthly basis to both the gambling authority and the fiscal authority on their revenues and payment of taxes.
But there is a technical loophole not to fill out everything. You know what I mean? Is there a technical way not to report? At the end of months, I report half of what I made last month.
How people choose not to respect the law is not something that I can tell you.
I mean, I'm a technical guy, so I'm trying to figure out the technical solution where the government can make 100% sure there is no shady schemes behind what the operator reported. So that's why I'm asking if there is already the solution, or just they report and everybody trusts each other.
You know, excuse me, Cosmina, as I have been there, there is no 100% sure solution. And on one hand, on the other hand, if the government or the ONGN wants to be absolutely sure that everything is correctly reported, they should ask for an audit, for an external audit.
Which are asked on a yearly basis. So this is checked by auditors, independent auditors for each operator.
Okay.
But other than that, you know, as you said, you are a technical guy. So the government has its own technical guys, and it's a matter of time as well, how much time they allocate to audit.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Another question?
I think we can conclude here. Probably the audience is stunned by the difference in taxes. Well, something will get published and changes will be made. Clearly, the big ones are favorite and they will flourish in the market, and the smaller operators will probably close their doors. What will be, will be. We will see. We will see, we will advise on, and we'll talk about it next year, I guess.
Yes. Unfortunately, Cosmina has to catch a plane. If you have a very final question, she will be glad to answer very quickly for a discount fee. Okay. No, thank you very much for your attention, and please give your